W420radionetwork.com.
Well, cannabis fans, for the first time ever, the City of Angels this spring is going to host the Emerald Cup. Yeah, they're billing it as the Academy Awards of Cannabis, and we are privileged and honored to have the two founder and executive producers, that is Tim and Taylor Blake, on board here on America's Cannabis Conversation. So guys, after 17 years in Northern California, you headed south May 13th and 14th. That's when the Emerald Cup will be held at the Green Street Festival. What was the big decision behind the move, guys?
Well, we looked at what was happening after legalization in 2017, and we realized that the best place for our contestants and for our vendors and sponsors was to be at the, in the largest media market, the largest cannabis market in the world, which is LA by far. And so we just knew we had to go down that direction. And so we worked with the city of Long Beach, and we were one public meeting away from being approved to have the show down there in 2019 when COVID hit. So we really got backed up for a couple of years, but the intention has been to go to LA for a few years now. When we first moved out of the Emerald Triangle to Sonoma County in Santa Rosa, people thought we were abandoning the Emerald Triangle, but after the first year, when they realized how successful it was to interact with the vendors and make money and to win on the stages in Santa Rosa, everybody wanted to join us, and we had a waiting list for vendors and sponsors, and the contestants blew up. So it's a good thing for everybody involved, and we're really proud to be heading to LA.
Sure. Taylor, you want to chime in on your thoughts?
Yeah, no, we're super excited about partnering with Green Street Festival for the award show, because for us, this award show is going to be us coming back in person, because we haven't been in person at the award show since 2019. So we're just super excited to be back with our contestants and our winners.
Yeah. So instead of rolling out the red carpet like the Academy Awards, you're going to have the green carpet, right? You're going to have the figurative all going green. Now this is the largest festival of its kind in the world. And tell us about, what's going on. What are the highlights?
Well, we've gone from one flowers contest that we started out with, where we have 43 contests now. So it's become quite a competition over the years it's come in. As far as the in public aspect of it, yeah, we're very excited to be working with Rama and the Green Street team to be doing a show downtown this year. It'll be limited to 7,000 people this year, with the thought that next year we'd have a much larger show. So we're very excited to see the contest roll from one flowers competition to 43 competitions. It's really been something. We've entered the flowers and divided up into terpenes, the same with the concentrates now. We've added on indoor over the last year. We've got best of show between the mixed light and the indoor and the sun grown. So it's really been a fun thing to watch the evolution of the competition, which is the heart and soul of the content of the show.
Sure. And you tell me about the judges. I think I met Mickey and I met Swami at the Harvest Ball, which is tied into the Emerald Cup up in Santa Rosa, Northern California, closer to the Emerald Triangle. And I also met Mighty Mickey 420, your good and what a character, man. He's the cannabis clown of all time, man. But he told me a little bit about the genesis, but I wanted, in your words, how did this all start some 18 years ago? The idea that you'd have a competition, obviously was friendly at the time, and now it may be a little more competitive, but the idea of competing to who can come up with the best, prettiest, sweetest, tastiest buds.
Well, going back for a second to Mighty Mickey, he was the clown with Ringling Brothers. He's hosted all these events, and he came to me one day and said, "Tim, I'm going to morph from Mighty Mickey the Clown to Mighty Mickey, the ambassador of the Emerald Cup." And he showed up one day with this whole outfit, and he's just a perfect ambassador for the Emerald Cup and for cannabis in general. They get more pictures taken with him than anybody else. I just love Mickey. He's something else. He's 80 years old, and he's still showing people how to rock it. As far as the event, 18 years ago, we were sitting around, and I grew up going to county fairs like most of us and seeing the competitions, the animals, they're just the wonderful aspect of it. And we thought, got to be nice if cannabis could be included like that. So we started with a very small contest at my event center at Area 101 in Laytonville. And it was a couple hundred people and a couple dozen entries. And boy, everybody thought we'd just be lucky if we didn't get busted. And over the years, it's evolved from that one simple contest and a couple hundred people to 30,000 people in 43 contests.
Oh, that's awesome. And of course, you had to do it under the radar. I mean, Mighty Mickey 420 was telling me you couldn't even identify whose buds it was for fear of retribution legally and such.
Oh no, we the first and third place winners wouldn't even show up at the stage to get their awards that first year. There were a lot of people in mass. I mean, High Times didn't come in for another 7 or 8 years into this country. It was still very illegal at that time, and most people were really banking on us getting busted. So we were very thankful that we just pulled it off, and we were able to move forward.
Isn't it crazy, the evolution? Here we are 18 years later, not only mainstream, but embraced by so many people and understood so much more. Tell me a little bit about that and how much that means to you as the guys who are the founders and creators of the Emerald Cup.
Well, I'm 65. I started dealing when I was 14. So I've been an outlaw and dealing, for over 50 years. So I've watched every decade since the 70s this unfold. I watched the beginning of indoor when it first came in. I watched the private prisons get built and the minimum mandatories when they put everybody in jail for 10, 15, 20 years. I watched the evolution of the large indoor operations all the way into 215, into the Emerald Cup in the early 2000s. I've watched every bit of it, and it is so satisfying to be able to see the evolution of it and to see how much it's been embraced and how much it's being, accepted into society all over this country and all over the world. It's taking its rightful place as the largest agricultural crop in the world very quickly.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And your keynote speaker, Gary Vaynerchuk, I mean, he is entrepreneur extraordinaire. Tell me a little bit about what he's going to be saying and why you chose him as your keynote speaker.
Well, he's partners with Rama in the Green Street Festival. They've been partnering in the whole building down there. He's been a friend of the whole team down there for quite some time, and we're honored to be working with Gary. He's an inspirational speaker. He's a very successful business person. You learn more about him, and it's just he's a phenomenon all unto himself with his passionate, inspirational, positive message and vibe. So he's a natural to be the keynote speaker at the Green Street Festival. He's a natural to be partners with, and we're very privileged and honored to have him as part of our team.
Cool. Taylor, could you talk a little bit about how the handcrafted and boutique grow and growers and cultivators and such, the challenges they face now with corporatization and, agribusiness coming in and swooping up small grows and kind of changing the whole matrix of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, coming as an event that's out of Northern California and being cultivators in our history ourselves, it's like I think that there's this plight of the small farmer that we really recognize and want to support at every aspect of the Emerald Cup show, because as you think about it from just even a quality perspective, I mean, the tomatoes that you grow in your own garden or that you get at the farmer's market are leaps and bounds better than the tomatoes that you buy at like Safeway. No offense, but it's just that there's a quality perspective there that I think really resonates with people. And I think that the legacy element of cannabis farmers in Northern California is something that's so sacred. They're the shoulders on which the whole industry is standing on to be in the legal market. And so we need to make sure and preserve the fact that the small farmers still have a seat at the table. And so one of the things that we're doing this year, we had a small farm initiative that we did at the Harvest Ball. So what we did was there was an application process for farmers with a under 10,000 square foot cultivation space. And we allowed them to apply for a free booth space at the Harvest Bowl. And it was such a success. It was like everybody's favorite area of the Emerald Cup event because it just had so much heart and soul in it. And so it was really important for us to carry over that excitement and that just special connection into the contest. So we are also offering 10 of those applicants a free entry into this year's competition, as well as just encouraging everyone to use their purchasing power to support small farms.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to remember the legacy growers and those who do it, literally by hand, the handcrafted boutique growers. It's awesome. This is America's Cannabis Conversation. Rich Walcoff with Tim and Taylor Blake, who are the executive producer and founder of the Emerald Cup. Now, you talked about the Harvest Ball in Santa Rosa. In the last couple of years I was there, well, I guess this past December, what I saw, the biggest crowds for the seed, the people selling the seeds. It was crazy. You got to tell me why there's such an attraction and what the major appeal is over clones. Because, you know, if you get into the real nitty gritty of get into the weed of the weeds and the horticultural nature of it, you could tell us why it's so critical to go from seed to grow from seed.
Mhm.
Well, you have a lot stronger plant when you're growing from seed, so you can get control over that. You don't have the issues as much as with the clones with a weaker root system, so you don't have the pests and some of the challenges with that. And there's just people that are doing some incredible genetics, and so people want to really follow those genetics and really get that. And the genetic companies have always done very good at our shows. People line up, they get VIP tickets just to get in early to deal with the latest genetics, and they come to the Harvest Ball to get those genetics and to get the latest flowers and to meet with everybody. And it's really just the market that's just so fun for people to come into.
Yeah, I couldn't believe just a handful of seeds can cost a considerable amount of money. But of course, those handful of seeds can go a long way to creating a beautiful crop.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
when Aficionado first won back in I think 2016, I'm not sure what exactly what year it was. It was 2012. Boy, I'm dating myself, Taylor. Look at that. Gosh. So 2012, when Leo and Aficionado won, well, it went from like $5 to $10 a seed to where they were getting $50 a seed. And they had them in really beautiful packaging, little boxes and whatnot. And I got one of the old boxes, and they're a little dated now. They don't look nearly as good as what we have now. But back then it was revolutionary. So they were selling them by the box load. And it really made people realize where the genetics were going to go and how it was going to evolve. And, over the years, Mean Gene with Jackson and all the genetic people have just done very well at our show.
That's awesome. And that's so incredible. You got to tell me, who are the judges? How does this go down? I mean, you guys sit in a corner and sample with no labels, so you get kind of like a blind taste test, or how does it unfold?
Well, I can just jump in and say it's very interesting because everyone's always wants to be a judge, and they've always asked us. And so we actually we decided to start taking applications to become a judge. So anybody can apply and become a judge. And we have many stories each year, the past 3 years, of people that have just applied that we've never met, that we've allowed to become a judge on just doing a little bit of research and making sure that they can hang in the judging process, because it's something that is so funny, because people are like, oh my gosh, that must be super fun to be a judge. And in so many ways it is, but you have to have a very strong tolerance in whatever category it is that you are judging, because it is definitely like an expert level of a palate that you must sort of have. Because I mean, especially for our flower judges, I mean, they're getting anywhere from 300 to 500 to, in the past, it used to be up to 700, 800 entries that they have to go through and sample and try. And so to not only try them, but also give great feedback and point scores on every single entry takes a level of connoisseur that we are very, very honored to have on our judging panel this year. We have over almost 100 judges from all over the state, from all the way up in Humboldt to San Diego to Nevada City, to a lot of representation in the Emerald Triangle. So we definitely are super excited about our judges.
Yeah, you better know what you're doing. It's not like the wine case, you can spit it out and try again, and you just put it on your. You've got to ingest it in some way, shape, or form, and you better have some tolerance and better know what you're doing. Do we have any celebrity judges per se?
Well, we have a few celebrity judges that we're just about to get in the ability to announce. So stay tuned for that. But we do have some Canna celebrity judges of quite a good variety. We have like the Dank Duchess, we have Bobby Black, we have Jason Pinsky, we have Nikki and Swami, who you met. We have Maya from Om Edibles as a solvent list judge. We have a lot of very well respected people in the industry as judges, and we're super honored to have them.
You have some new categories like most innovative product and a terpene kind of evaluation. So talk a little bit about that.
Do you want to go in for that, Tim? Or do you want me to take it?
Go ahead.
Well, innovative product is definitely one of our most fun categories to judge, because in the realm of innovation, that's why we split it up into 2 different categories this year. One's consumable and one is not, because there's so much innovation always happening in cannabis. And it's really exciting to see. And so we started that category 3 years ago to do most innovative product. It can be either consumable or not. So we have the 2 separate categories. And last year we actually had this seed puck win. So it was like cannabis seeds in like a little puck that all you have to do is like put it into water, and it has like all the nutrients and like little growing medium in it, into which it will just sprout just based out of the little puck. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for seed sprouting, which is why it won, because we had never seen anything like that before. And for the terpene categorization, it's actually really cool and very cutting edge in the way of terpene science. We are doing a terpene test for all flower, solventless, and hydrocarbon entries that we receive. And that terpene test will then delineate which of us 7 terpene categories that those entries would then align with. And then that's how the judges will receive their product. They'll be sorted by its terpene structure. So it will be like in sort of similarness of strains, it'll be like gases going against gases, fruit strains going against fruit strains. Instead of getting into the paradigm of sativa versus indica, which is outdated at this point.
I love that. That's cool. And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Harry Mack, the freestyle rapper, who to be honest, I hadn't heard, but I checked him out, and the guy is off the hook. I mean, what kind of crazy skill set he's got. And when is he going to be doing his thing at your Emerald Cup this spring in LA?
Harry Mack is actually doing a really cool fireside chat with Gary Vee on the Friday night. So the Friday night is a dinner, more like seated event, the Friday night of the 13th. And then the Saturday, the 14th, is the festival that's going to be outside with Juicy J performing, and Harry Mack will be there. One thing you may not know is actually Tim is a very famous freestyle rapper himself. I'm sure he could, if you drop a beat, he could just jump right into it right now.
Love it. Tim, you may be on the spot now, or you need some herbal inducements to bust it out. I don't know. You tell me.
No, she's making fun of me. I'm more of a dancer than a freestyler. I actually had a rap label at one time called Lethal Beat Records back in the 80s. So my claim on that one was with Bootsy Collins back in the day. So I go back quite a bit in the production world with that. But yeah, we're going to have quite a few fun things to do. We are going to have some celebrity judges that we are going to announcing. Be Real from Cypress Hill judged for us last year, and I think he's going to be back. And we've got a couple other very special announcements as to who's going to join us. So that's going to be fun.
Hey, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Tell us how we can get tickets, learn more. Emerald Cup, May 13, 14 in Los Angeles.
Yeah, so tickets are available on greenstreetfestival.com, and you can also find out more information about how to enter our competition on our website, which is theemeraldcup.com. And also you can follow us on all of our social channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Awesome.
And get more information.
Well, fabulous. Congratulations. You guys are still rocking it. 18th year, going to LA. May it be a great rookie season for you down there. Awesome stuff. Tim and Taylor Blake, founder and executive producer of the Emerald Cup. You guys have a blast. Appreciate you coming on our show.
It's a pleasure. Well, anytime. You're more than welcome to be our guest at any show we come to.
That's great.
Yeah.
America's Cannabis Conversation. I'm Rich Walcoff on the W420 Radio Network. Stick around.
America's Cannabis Conversation on W420RadioNetwork.com.